Global shipping is being hit hard right now, and primarily because of this relatively small area in red. Allow me to explain. A very common trade route in international shipping is to start in, say, Singapore and to travel along this blue line, and then to keep going up that blue line through the relatively narrow Red Sea passage and then up through the very small Suez Canal and end up in Western Europe. Without being able to use that route, you have to go all the way around Africa, as demonstrated by the orange line, and it is a much longer and much more expensive journey. Well, the Houthi forces in Yemen control the capital of Sana'a and part of that Red Sea coast. And ostensibly in response to everything going on between Israel and Gaza, the Houthis have been attacking commercial ships that have been trying to go through that Red Sea corridor. Roughly 12% of global trade and roughly 30% of global container traffic goes through that passage. And roughly 4 companies that account for roughly 53% of global container trade have said because of security concerns, they're not going to use that route. There are a few options on the table for how to deal with this. They all have their own problems. Maybe we can talk about them in another video, but we are definitely going to be seeing the downstream implications of this.
Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who taught me this truth. And peace and blessings with all sincerity to the hopeful elect. It's Zachariah coming at you with another lesson. And Lord's willing, it be edifying. So I want to touch on this article from Reuters, which is entitled, Red Sea Attacks Disrupt World Trade. More ships vow to avoid waters. And I'm just going to touch on a little bit of this article. It reads, Germany's Hapag Lloyd and Hong Kong's OOCL said on Thursday they would avoid the Red Sea, the latest shipping companies to do so after attacks by Yemen Houthi group on vessels disrupted global trade, prompting the establishment of a naval task force. The hostilities have put a chokehold on ship passengers through the Suez Canal, which handles about 12% of worldwide trade. The Suez Canal is most vital to the movement of goods between Asia and Europe. But global logistics executives warned that sending ships on alternate routes could roll global supply chains, causing backups at ports and shortages of vessels, containers, and equipment that are suddenly in the wrong place. The situation remains fluid. Things could change quickly, which is why contingency plans that include a plan A, B, and C are critical to keeping supply chains moving, said Matthew Burgess, Vice President of Global Ocean Services at C.H. Robinson Worldwide. Okay, let's see. Let's continue. Hapag Lloyd said it would reroute 25 ships by the end of the year from the key waterway as freight rates and shipping stocks have increased because of the distribution. Avoiding the Red Sea and Suez Canal means following a far larger route around Africa. So, as you can see, these nations are having to find, or Salakia, take a longer route. And ultimately, what does that mean for consumers? Okay, these ships taking longer routes, meaning using more gas, taking longer time. Okay, it pushes up the price of goods. All right, it pushes up the price of goods. And not only that, taking a longer route means longer for the goods to get to their destination. So definitely a supply chain issue is going to occur. And I think I'm going to entitle this lesson Déjà Vu. Okay, because all of this feels like deja vu. Okay, like we've experienced before. All right. But it's not deja vu. It's actually really happening all over again. Okay. All these things that are happening are the same things that led up to the pandemic in 2020, that led up to food shortages, layoffs, curfews, lockdowns. It's almost as if the pandemic was a trial run, if I'm making any sense. You know, you people have a short attention span. Y'all must have forgot.
Today, the supply is clearly not meeting the demand. The shortage of products here in the U.S. has extended to, well, just about everything. And that's led to lots of frustrated shoppers. Amber Cogliano reports.
Good luck with your shopping list this weekend. Just like in the early days of the pandemic, supermarket shelves are starting to look sparse again. Check this out. This is what we found right behind this pasta. Look at this. It's empty back here. So it's not just toilet paper and paper towels. Frustration is mounting everywhere.
If you go to Costco right now, you can't buy more than one pack of paper towels.
Out of stock signs are back on the store shelves as Americans face a supply chain crisis.
On social media, people are sharing what they're seeing and, more importantly, not seeing in stores across the USA.
Y'all, I'm having deja vu again.
Does anyone else's grocery store look like this?
A lot of stuff not here.
The diaper shortage is getting to be a big deal. Other shortages are in food staples and big ticket items like appliances. Experts say it's a perfect storm of supply issues, shipping delays, and labor shortages.
So the exact same events that brought the world to its knees in 2020 are magically happening again. Coincidence? There are no coincidences. So I got a quick video. The brother Karaya threw it in the chat. Give him his props.
It's that time of the year again, and no, I'm not talking about Christmas, I'm talking about the Wuhan virus pandemic. It's December, and the Wuhan virus is rearing its head again. It's happening across the globe. Cases are on the rise. The central government held a COVID meeting today. There is no reason for alarm yet, but states have been asked to ramp up surveillance. They must track new strains. The latest one, JN1, is linked to an old variant. You may remember Omicron. It was driving the surge last year. Turns out JN1 is linked to Omicron. It's from the same lineage, but it carries a mutation, something that gives it extra immune evading capabilities. And that is what makes it contagious. The rise in cases is proof. This strain is highly transmissible. Even if you are double vaccinated, you may still get it. The World Health Organization has called it a variant of interest, meaning they're tracking it. And that brings us to the question on everyone's mind. Is this deadly? For now, the symptoms are generally mild. It includes a fever, runny nose, sore throat, headaches, and diarrhea. Some patients may experience breathing problems, but overall, nothing severe. Individuals usually recover in 4 to 5 days, and the surge is not limited to India. At least 40 countries.
What makes the Owala Free Sip so different from other bottles? Well, buckle up, Buttercup.
0 have detected the JN1 variant. Many of them have rising cases. In Southeast Asia, the masks are back. Countries like Malaysia and Singapore have issued advisories. They want travelers to mask up. Singapore has recorded 56,000 new cases in a week. 56,000 new cases in Singapore. They want everyone to vaccinate now and follow COVID-19 guidelines. Then there's China. It has detected 40 new cases of the JN1 variant, but Beijing says it's not a matter of concern yet. In the United States, there's a similar trend. JN1 is the fastest growing variant in the country. Cases are rising, so are hospitalizations. They're up by 200%. That's hospitalizations in America, 200%. It's a steep increase, which is why the CDC has issued an alert. That's America's public health agency, CDC. It wants citizens to get boosters. The UK too is experiencing something similar. It reported nearly 6,000 cases in a week. Around 6% of Londoners are estimated to have the virus. This is 3 times higher than last month. Doctors have raised an alarm. They're monitoring all new infections. Now I know what it sounds like. Yet another COVID wave, more cases, more hospitalizations, and the return of the masks. The signs are all there. So should you be worried? Not yet, says the World Health Organization. They say this strain is not a cause of public concern yet. The overall risk to public is low. Vaccine.
Now tell me, this doesn't sound and feel eerily familiar. Like the start of 2020 all over again. Like a case of deja vu. Which, let me get the definition of deja vu. It says deja vu. Matter of fact, let's go down to the quick definition. It says deja vu is the feeling that you have experienced a situation before, even though you know you haven't. That's why I say it feels like deja vu, but it's not, because we have experienced everything that's happening, that's currently happening in now we've experienced it in 2020. Okay, everything leading up to the whole country shutting down, the whole world. The whole world. So let's get a precept. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. What is the vision? These prophecies. Okay, they're all allotted for a certain year, hour, minute, a certain time to take effect. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but in the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Right. So these prophecies are coming, man. Okay. These prophecies are in full effect. And one of the prophecies that I want to, harp on is this is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22. And it reads, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Right. A famine, man. A famine is on the horizon.
We need food. My son-in-law is laid off. My daughter-in-law is laid off. And I'm handicapped.
What does it mean to you to kind of help get the food here?
Well, it's very helpful. The fact that I was holding down 2 jobs and not able to work not one. So economically, it really affected me.
Have a good day.
And I'm speaking of a famine of epic proportion, as such the world has never seen before. And it's going to usher in Jacob's trouble. Because when there's no food, that acting fake and neighborly is out the window. It's survival of the fittest. Let's get, this is Ezekiel chapter 5 and verse 16 in the NLT. I will shower you with the deadly Salakia. I will shower you with the deadly arrows of famine to destroy you. The famine will become more and more severe until every crumb of food is gone. Right. Till every crumb of food is gone. And when you don't have food, what type of behavior does that lead to when you're starving? Let's get it. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, and we're going to go straight to the point. In 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. Right. When there's no food and nothing to eat, people are going to get it how they live. They're going to do whatever it takes to survive. Whatever it takes. And I'm going to show you why. This is Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 9. And it reads, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. The Lord says it's better to be killed by the sword. It's better to have a quick death than to starve to death and just pine away. Starving to the point where you can't even walk or move or get around. And then you're just defecating and all over yourself because you don't have the strength to move. Man, that's a disgraceful and horrible way to go. And that's why people are going to be kicking in doors and destroying homes and just doing all manner of atrocities, man. hunger, starvation is going to bring about the worst type of behavior. The worst type of behavior. Matter of fact, let's go back. Ezekiel 5, and I'll read 16 again. I will shower you with the deadly arrows of famine to destroy you. The famine will become more and more severe until every crumb of food is gone. And along with the famine, wild animals will attack you and rob you of your children. Disease and war will stalk your land, and I will bring the sword of the enemy against you. I, the Lord Yahweh, have spoken. Right. You know, in times past, the Lord has brought judgment upon our nation, the nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay? But now, pertaining to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, you know, all these curses are befalling our enemies. And all the judgments that we once had to deal with, our enemies have to deal with. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 7. And the Lord Yahweh thy power will bring Salakia. And the Lord Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. You see? So this is what the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, is doing for his chosen people, his chosen nation. Through divine intervention, he's bringing down all our enemies, chiefly Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right? So let's end it with this. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 56, and it reads, like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord Yahweh, even so shall the Most High do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy cities shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger and eat their own flesh. Yeah, cannibalism is coming is coming back in a big way. And drink their own blood, for very hungry of bread and thirst of water. Right, man. Terrible times are on the horizon. Okay, beautiful times for the elect. Because the elect are not going to have to worry about any of this. Matter of fact, since we're in Esdras, we'll end it with this. 2nd Esdras, I believe it's 2. Second Esdras 2 and 26. As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, which is the day I've been describing, the time of Jacob's trouble, famine, pestilence, war, death, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord Jehovah. My hands shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. Hey, Lord's willing, this was edifying Israel. Shalom, wa, abad, babal, kwam yasharala.